Has put the Turnbull government on notice. No bills for which the Health Minister Greg Hunt is responsible will pass through the Senate until he reverses the ban on nicotine e-cigarettes. Now, a report into e-cigarettes was released by the House of Representatives Standing Committee on Health, Aged Care and Sports recommended that the continuing ban on the sale of nicotine vaping products in Australia while more research is done. Now, to the senator who orchestrated this ban, the Liberal Democrat Senator David Leyonhjelm joins me now. This is holding the government somewhat to ransom, isn't it?
Yes, it is. Very deliberately.
Unashamedly.
Unashamedly, unapologetically, yes it is. It's actually only the second time since I came into the Senate that I've seen an issue this serious. The first time was 2014 when the government was going to allow ASIO agents to torture people, and I said that's not on. If you don't fix that...
Why is vaping on par with that then?
Well, because people will die. The simple fact is that when you smoke tobacco, not only do you get nicotine, you get thousands of other chemicals, including tar and things like that. Those chemicals are what cause lung cancer and emphysema and heart disease, not nicotine. Now, nicotine's not innocent. You still get addicted to it, but when you vape, all you're doing is getting the nicotine. So you don't get lung cancer, you don't get emphysema, you don't get heart disease. Other countries are using e-cigarettes as quitting devices, and we have nicotine in gums and patches and things like that. But our government is refusing to allow e-cigarettes. It's wrong. It's out of step with the rest of the world. The e-cigarettes are being approved or even being recommended in the UK as a quitting device by the NHS. Yet here in Australia, a parliamentary inquiry, in fact a House committee, as you mentioned, has looked into it. Now, my information is that they were instructed by the Health Minister, Greg Hunt, to not recommend in favour.
Okay.
We saw the chair of that committee, Trent Zimmerman, say, well, I don't think that's right.
Not only Trent Zimmerman, I think Tim Wilson was also on that committee, and he wrote a dissenting report as well. So there's three Liberals who don't agree with Greg Hunt. Yes. So what's the status of this now? Have you had contact with Minister Hunt's office? Can this be sorted out, or how long do you expect the Senate to be held to ransom?
It's early days. I have enough senators. They need 10 out of 12 to get any legislation through. I have plenty to ensure that nothing will get through if we decide that comes from Greg Hunt. This is not a threat to the government as a whole. We treat bills on their merits by and large, and it'll be business as usual. But any bills coming from Greg Hunt, now just coincidentally, I'm told he introduced several into the House of Reps just yesterday. And so he's going to have trouble.
But this might stop actually medicines being elevated to the PBS.
No, they don't.
Right?
They don't require legislation.
They don't require legislation. Okay,
no.
What might require legislation that has been introduced yesterday?
Well, you might have read in the media today, he's proposing to legislate the rules on health insurance, private health insurance. Now,
that certainly needs fixing up.
Yeah, but I don't think he's going to fix it. I don't think what he's proposing to do will make it any better. So what we're saying is, Minister Hunt, have a good think about why you think that you know more than the United States and the UK do. People are entitled to quit smoking, entitled to achieve the health benefits in Australia just as they are in these other countries, and you're going to let people die. And one additional point to that is that majority of people smoking these days are low-income people and Indigenous pensioners. They're the ones who mainly smoke. Now, you can import nicotine for vaping privately if you want to, but of course those people are far less likely to do that than the smarties. So we're saying get over this obsession with blocking e-cigarettes, otherwise you're going to have a very unsuccessful time in the Senate.
Okay, just